Welcome to Level 2, Lesson 1, where we're going to first review the sounds from Level. So first, let's review our Level 1 sounds. We are only concerned about the short vowel sounds here. So you can either pause the video and do all the sounds on the screen. You can pause it one line at a time, or you can pause it in between. So you do it, and then you see how you did. Ah, eh. I, ah, b, f, d, k. We've learned two sounds, g and j, but all the words we're using so far use the hard G sound of g. Ul, n, s, z, j, n, p, k, m, v, qu. The Q and the U are together because English words always have a Q after the U. Always have a U after a Q. T, w, X says x most of the time, but at the beginning of a word, it can say z. Z. We're only concerned about the consonant sound of Y at this point. Y. G, j. S, z. How did you do? Don't move on to the rest of this lesson unless you got most or all of these correct. Two S's together always say s. St. Per. C and K together say k. Let's practice some words with the short A sound of ah. We will say them slowly, and then we will say it fast. For sounds that we can hold, we will hold the sound to make it easier to blend. Add, add, b, add, bad, add, had, add, mad, d, add, dad, add, rad, add, fad, at, hat, at, mat. S at the beginning of a word always uses the s sound. S, at, sat, k, at, cat. Let's try some short E words with the sound of eh. Led, led, ed, bed, ed, fed. This is a name, that's why it has a capital letter. Ed, Ted, et, pet, et, met. S always uses its first sound of s at the beginning of a word. Set, set, et, bet. We're going to use the hard G or first sound of G, g, in this word. G, et, get, et, pet, net, net. It's okay to run your finger below the letters as you sound it out. Et, let. Short I has the sound of I. Id, lid, id, hid, id, rid, id, bid, it. two T's still have one sound of T. It, mit, it, pit, it, lit, in, kin. Kin means a relative. In, pin, in, win, in, fin. The short O sound is ah. In all of these words, we are going to use the first sound of X, which is used most of the time. That sound is X. In all of the words with G, we will use the hard G sound of G. Ox, 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 fox, ox, box, ox, pox, og, hog, og, dog, rock, rock, sock, sock, lot, lot, dot, dot, not, not, pot, pot. And now finally we have our short U words. Short U is the sound, like in under and umbrella. Again, we will use the hard G sound of G in these words, and C and K together have one sound of K. Ugh, dug, ugh, bug, ugh, rug, ugh, pug, ugh, lug, ugh, mug, ugh, hug, ugh, tug, luck, nut, cut, and finally rut. How did you do? If you got most of these right, you're probably ready for lesson 2. If not, please review this lesson or go back to level 1 and redo the lessons there. Welcome back to level 2, lesson 2. We're going to start learning the long vowel sounds. So let's practice our short A sound, which we've already done before. That's ah. Now you can either pause between each sound and you do it and then play the video to see if you got it correct, or you can do one line at a time. You pause the video, do the whole line, then press play again, or you can do one screen at a time. Ah, 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 ah. Now vowel sounds also have their long sounds. Their long sounds are the same as their names. So the long sound of this is A, 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 A. So let's do both sounds now. First the short sound, then the long sound. A, 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 A. Now, why do we do the short sound first? Well, because we use it in more words. So we want to do the sounds in the order of how common they are. So let's try our short E sound. Eh, 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 eh. And our long E sound, which is the same as the name of this letter. So E, 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 E. Now let's do both sounds. The short sound first, because we use that more often, then the long sound. Eh, E, eh, E, eh, E, eh, E. Now our short I sound. I, 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 I. Our long I sound, which is the name of the vowel. I, 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 I. Now our short sound, then our long sound. I, 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 I. Now we have our short and our long O sounds. Short sound. Ah, 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 ah. Our long O sound. O, 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 O. Both sounds. We will do the short sound first. Ah, O. Ah, O. Ah, O. Ah, O. And finally, we have our short and long U. Short sound of U. Uh, 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 uh. Now, what's different about the letter U is it has two long sounds. The first one is the name of the letter, U. The other one is the oo sound. And it has two long sounds because trying to say U is very difficult after certain letters. So there are rules about which sound to try when, but generally people can figure them out on their own and do pretty well. So try the U sound, and if it's too hard to say, switch to the oo sound and you'll probably be correct. U, oo. U, oo. U, oo. U, oo. Let's try all three sounds. First the short sound, then the two long U sounds. U, oo. U, oo. U, oo. And finally, U, oo. In lesson 3, we will learn how to use these long sounds to read words that are often called sight words. Oh, but before we get to that, we are going to practice all our vowel sounds. So first, we will do the short sounds again. A, I, Now our long sounds. A, E, I, O. Don't forget, this one has two long sounds. U, oo. Let's practice both sounds. We will do the short sound first. A, E, I, O. U, oo. How did you do? If you're still having trouble with the long sounds, please redo this lesson until it's easy for you. This is level 2, lessons 3 and 4, and we're going to learn about long vowels. So let's review our long vowel sounds. The long vowel sounds are the same as the name of the vowels, except for the letter U, which has two long vowel sounds. So you can either pause the video between each sound, after each line, or after each screen. So in other words, pause the video, do one sound, one line, or the whole screen, and then start playing the video to see if you got the answer correct. I, E, U, oo. A, O, E, I, A, O, U, oo. E, A, I, A, I. Now you might wonder, why does the letter U have two long sounds? Well, the sound U is very difficult to say after certain letters. So if it's hard to say it, switch to oo. Let's try some words. Now, all these words end in a vowel, and we are going to use the long vowel sound. I, hi. Now, notice we sound it out slowly, and then we say it fast, and it's okay to run your finger below the sounds as you do it. E, he. A, w, e, we. M, e, me. I, g, o, go. N, o, no. B, e, be. F, l, oo, flew. Now here we use the oo sound because saying you after the letter L is too hard to do because that would sound like flew, and that's very difficult. So we use the oo sound. Flew. I. A. Let's try some nonsense syllables. So we're going to use the long sound because when a syllable ends in a vowel, it often uses the long sound. So that's the one we try first. And for each of these syllables with the letter U, we're going to try it with both sounds. And sometimes we will be able to say it both ways, and sometimes the only way we will be able to say it easily will be with the oo. Bay, bee, by, bow, bew, boo. Day, D, die, doe, dew, that's hard to say, do. Now, if you still need to sound it out slowly like d, a, day, that's fine. Keep doing that, and over time, you will get faster. Fay, fee, fi, fo, few, foo. Let's try that with some more sounds. Hey, he, hi, ho, hew, who. J, G, jai, joe, jew, Jew. K, key, kai, ko, Q, coo. Let's try some sentences. A, k, at, cat. Now, S has two sounds, S and Z, but we always use the S sound at the beginning of a word. Sat, sat. A cat sat. A red, red. Dog, dog. Sits, sits. A red dog sits. Here we're going to use the hard G sound of G. Big, big. Red, red. At, rat. Sat, sat. A big red rat sat. Before we go on to lesson 4, think about how you did for lesson 3. If that was difficult, please repeat the lesson until you can get most of them correct. We are going to practice our nonsense syllables first. Remember that U has two long sounds, U and oo. And sometimes the U sound is too hard to say, and so we use the oo sound. Sometimes the letter before it allows us to say it either way. But we will try pronouncing it both ways, and as you practice, you will notice that which ones are too hard to say. So these syllables all end in a vowel, so we are going to use the vowels long sounds. Lay, lee, lie, low, lu, that's too hard to say, lu, may, me, my, mo, mew, moo. That one we can say either way. Nay, knee, nigh, no, new. Oh, that's very hard to say. New. That one we could say. Let's practice some more nonsense syllables. Pay, pea, pie, po, pew, poo. That one we can say both ways. Remember that Q is always followed by a U in English, so it's often easier to think of this as like one letter with the sound of qu. Quay, qui, quai, quo. Oh, this should be a U here. Quo. Ray, re, rye, row, rue, that's too hard to say, rue. Remember that the letter S has two sounds, S and Z. We always use the unvoiced S sound at the beginning of a word. Say, see, sigh, so, sue, that's too hard to say, sue. Tay, tea, tie, toe, tew, two. They, vi, vi, vo, view, voo. Now you might wonder, why are we practicing these nonsense syllables? Well, for one thing, it helps us to practice without guessing. Because if you know that most of the syllables aren't even words, you're not going to try to guess. You will have to sound it out. Also, being able to read syllables will help much later when we get to very long words. Way, we, why, whoa, you, I can't even say that, woo, yay, ye, yai, yo, you, zay, z, zai, zo, zoo, that's too hard to say, zoo. Let's practice with some sentences. A, ed, red, b, at, bat, b, it, bit. Oh, this syllable ends in a vowel, so we will try the long sound. Me. A red bat bit me. A, big, big, at, cat. We always use the unvoiced s sound at the beginning of a word with s. At, sat, up. A big cat sat up. Now, one thing I would like to point out is when we are speaking or reading out loud, often the word a turns into the word a. A big red cat sat up. E, he. So our syllable ends in a vowel. So we try the long sound. At, sat, in a big cup. He sat in a big cup. And three more sentences. A rat, had a big hat. A rat had A rat, rat, sat, sat, on, a mat, mat. A rat sat on a mat. A dog, dog, bit, a sad, cat, cat. A dog bit a sad cat. How are you doing? Please don't move on to the next lesson until these words are easy to read. Today we're going to learn about silent E. So right here we have some words using our short vowel sound that we've learned. At, at, cat, at, pat. Oh, and also you can do this program either by pausing the video between each sound, after each line, or between each screen. Now, if you have at the end of a word an E with a consonant, so a vowel, then a consonant, then an E, the E can be what's called a silent E, or some people call it the magic E. Now, the silent E has a special superpower. It can make the vowel 2 letters before it have its long sound. So right here, we just have the short A sound of at. But this right here is a silent E, and it makes the short sound turn into a long sound. So instead of A, we have the long A sound of A. And if you don't know your long vowel sounds, please go back to the beginning of level 2 to learn those. So instead of A, we're going to have A. And this E doesn't make its own sound. All it does is change the vowel to the long sound. So this will be 8, 8. So this E changes the vowel to the long sound, but it does not make a sound itself. That's why it's called the silent E. So right here we have k, at, and here we have a name. That's why it has a capital letter. We have an E, so we have a vowel, consonant, then an E. So this is a silent E. It's going to make this A have what sound? The long A sound of A. So this will be k, 8, Kate. Does this E make a sound itself? No, it does not. That's why it's the silent E. All it does is change the vowel 2 letters before it to have the long vowel sound. So here we have p, at, pat. We come down here. Oh, I see this word pat here, but there's an E on the end. It's a silent E. So it's going to make this A take its long A sound. So this will say A now. P, 8, pate. And pate means your head. Let's practice some more. So this time, instead of reading across, we will go down. So the first row will have the short vowel sounds like we're used to. The second row will have silent E's. Oh, this one's a mistake, so we're going to skip this one. Okay, so short vowel sound, a. So at, hat. And it's okay to run your finger below the letters if you need to. We come down here. There's an E at the end. We go back 2 letters before it. This vowel is going to take on its long sound, which is A. So we have 8, hate. We're going to skip this one because I did not type that correctly. Right here we have al. This is a name. That's why it's a capital letter. Come down here, we see it ends in an E. We'll look back 2 letters before it. So this vowel will have its long sound of A. Ale. Ale is like beer. Let's practice some more. Some of these are real words and some are nonsense words. So if you don't know what it means, that's fine. We can still sound it out. So once again, the first row is going to use the short vowel sounds like we're used to. And the second row we'll use the silent E to make the A's have the long A sound. D, at, dat. D, ate, date. L, at, lat. L, ate, late. Add, rad. Aid, raid. Now, if you have a student who is really struggling with this, you may need to write the words down and have them circle the silent E at the end and maybe even draw an arrow over to the previous letter. Let's practice some more silent E words. K, ave, cave. Here we have a name, so it has a capital letter. D, ave, Dave. G, ave, gave. Now, S has two sounds, S and Z, but so far we have only used the unvoiced S sound. And S always uses the S sound at the beginning of a word. Save, save. C also has two sounds, but we've only used the K sound so far. The other sound will be covered in another lesson. Ave, brave. Rave, rave. This S is going to use the S sound. K, ace, case. Aid, made. Ace, base. Save, save. Dose, dose. See, the silent E doesn't care what the vowel sounds. It works with O as well as A, and it works with E, I, and U as well. Ode, road. Let's practice some sentences. Remember, if a syllable ends in a vowel or the word ends in a vowel, at this point we are going to use the vowel's long sound, A. Although sometimes when we're in a rush, we wind up saying a. A, k, at, cat, sat, sat, in, a cave. A cat sat in a cave. A rat, rat, road, road, on a dog, dog. A rat rode on a dog. A pig, pig, sat on a base, base. A pig sat on a base. Once again, for these words that end in a vowel sound, other than a silent E, we will use the vowel's long sound. E, he, gave, gave, me, a cat, cat. He gave me a cat. I gave him a dog. I gave him a dog. A dog, dog, gave me a rat, rat. A dog gave me a rat. If you need more practice with silent E before going on to lesson 6, please redo this lesson until it is easy. If you go to Don Potter's website, you can also download the free book Word Mastery, where you can practice silent E words on pages 34 through 40. We're doing lessons 6 and 7 of level 2, where we're going to learn the sounds of CH, SH, and review the silent E. So let's review our short and long vowel sounds. So you can either pause the video before each sound and do it before each line or before each screen, but make sure you try it on your own and then turn the video back on and see how you do. Ah, eh, I, ah, Now the long sounds. A, E, I, O, and the letter U has two. The first one is U, just like the name of the letter, but that is often too hard to say after certain other sounds, in which case the sound is oo. So let's try both sounds. The short sound, then the long sound. A, E, I, O, U, oo. If you still find this hard, please go back and redo previous lessons. Don't move on until you can do this easily. Likewise, don't move on to this lesson until you have already started to get the hang of silent E from lesson 5. Remember, silent E comes at the end of a word, and you look back 2 letters before it, and it makes the vowel take its long sound. So this silent E will make the A have its long sound of A. And the E itself does not say anything. So the E, all it does is change the short vowel to a long vowel sound. So this will be 8. Here we have a silent E, D, 8, date. It's okay to run your finger below the words if you need to. 8, late. 8, rate. Aid, fade. Ode, code. I'd, hide. I'd, ride. Make sure to sound it out smoothly, even when you do it slowly. Don't do I, d with gaps in the sound. That makes it harder to speed it up. Try it like this. Ride, ride. Jade, jade. 5, 5. Pave, wave. Once again, if you find this hard, please go back to lesson 5. All right, now we're going to try a mix of words. We will have words with a vowel in the middle using the short sound, and then a similar word where a silent E is at the end to change the vowel from its short sound to its long sound. 4 words with the letter U for the long sound. Do the U sound if it's easy to say. If it's hard to say, switch to oo. So here we have a vowel in the middle, so we will use the short sound. Cub. Here we have the silent E, so this U will have the long U sound. Cube, cube. Tub. Tube. Notice in cube, we can do the U, we can do the U sound, but to do tube is hard to say, so we switch from U to oo. Tube. Add, fad. Aid, fade. Id, hid. I'd, hide. Odd, rod. Ode, road. Life, life. Wife, wife. Fife. Fife is a type of flute. Ache, lake. Ache, bake. Ache, fake. Ache, rake. Oak, joke. Oak, yoke. Yoke means to use some equipment to link animals together so they can work together to plow a field. The spelling for an egg yolk is different. Oak, woke. Ache, make. Oak, Coke. This word has a capital C because it's a brand of soda. Ache, cake. Aches, cakes. So we still have the silent E making the A take its long sound, but it's not at the end of a word because we have added the S to indicate that there is more than one cake. Ache, make. Aches, makes. This S here does not stop the silent E from doing its job to make the A say its name. This S doesn't make the word plural because make is a verb. So make and makes are two different forms of the verb. So I just want you to notice that a silent E, while it is usually at the end of a word, there can be a suffix or a special ending after it. Ache, rake. Aches, rakes. Like, ache, fake. Let's try some sentences. Remember that words ending in a vowel at this point in our program will use the vowel's long sound, although the word A, when we are speaking quickly, often turns into a muffled sound. A dog, dog. Add, had. A ate, date. A dog had a date. A bat, bat. Made, made. Ache, cake. A bat made a cake. At, cat. Ate, a red, ache, cake. A cat ate a red cake. A dog, made a kite. A dog made a kite. A pig. S has two sounds, S and Z. It always uses the S sound at the beginning of a word. At, sat, on, a rake. A pig sat on a rake. A sick, at, cat, sits. A ick, cat, sits. Remember, do not move on to lesson 7 until you can get most of the words in lesson 6 right. If this takes multiple days, that's fine. Let's start lesson 7 with reviewing some words that are actually phonetic, but that schools like to call sight words. So these are not actually sight words because every one of these words can be sounded out using the rule that the vowel at the end of a word uses its long sound. A, I. Notice I is always capitalized. B, E, B. E, he. W, E, we. M, E, me. S, o, so. No, no. G, o, go. Here are some new sounds. CH has 3 sounds. The most common one is ch. Repeat that, ch. The second sound, which is used in words that originally came from Greek, is k, like in the word school. The third sound, which is much less common in English, is sh, which comes from French words like chef. So when I point to CH, do the 3 sounds and always do them in this order. Ch, k, sh. The reason we do it in that order is we want to remember the one used the most first. So we do them in the order of how frequently they are used. So when I point, do all 3 sounds. Ch, k, sh. Ch, k, sh. Ch, k, sh. Ch, k, sh. The letter SH also has 1 sound. Sh. So CH can do that sound, but SH will always do that sound. These letter combinations are called digraphs. Graph is from a root that means to write things down. And the die part means there are 2. So there are 2 letters used to represent 1 sound. This is because English only has 26 letters, but we have far more than 26 sounds. So we need to use combinations of letters to represent sounds. So think of SH and CH as letters that are glued together. So SH always says sh, 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 sh. Remember, when I point to the CH, do all 3 sounds in the correct order. Ch, k, sh, 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 ch, k, sh, sh, ch, ch, k, sh, ch, k, sh, 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 ch, k, sh, sh. Let's practice some words with the first sound of CH, which is ch. This is by far the most common sound of CH. So when you get to a word, you always want to try it with that sound first. And all these words will use the ch sound. Ch, ip, chip, ch, in, chin. Now, when you're getting used to having 2 letters represent 1 sound, you may need to circle the 2 letters together, underline them, tap it with your finger. You might need to do something to remember that it's 2 letters that make 1 sound. Ch, ap, chap, itch, rich, ch, such, ch, op, chop, inch, inch. This is a name, so it has a capital letter. Ch, ad, chad. Let's try some words with the sound of SH, which is sh. Right here, we have a word ending with a vowel, so we will try the vowel's long sound. Sh, e, she. Sh, ip, ship. Ash, ash. B, ash, bash. Ash, lash. D, ash, dash. Ash, rash. Sh, ed, shed. Here we have another name, so it has a capital letter. Josh, Josh. Ish, fish. Ish, wish. Shot, shot. Shut. Ed, shed. Shun. Rush, rush. Rash, rash. If you did very well and got most of these words correct, you're probably ready for lesson 8. If you still have trouble and need more practice, please redo the lesson or previous lessons if needed. You can also go to Don Potter's website to download Word Mastery, where you can practice the sounds from lesson 7 on pages 45 and 46. In lesson 8, we're going to learn the 2 sounds of TH and review the sounds of CH and SH. First, let's practice with some nonsense syllables. Remember that SH says sh, and when we have syllables ending in a vowel, we will use the vowel's long sound. So this will be shay, she, shy, show, shoe. Remember, the long U has 2 sounds, U and oo. You use the U one if it's easy to say. If it's hard to say, like after the sh sound, then you use the oo. CH has 3 sounds, ch in most words, k in words like school that have a Greek root, and sh in words like chef that have a French root. Since ch is the most common, let's do these nonsense syllables using the first sound. Che, chi, chai, cho, chew, or chew. Stay, stee, sty, stow, stew, or stew. Now, TH is another digraph. All that means is that it takes 2 letters to represent one sound, because English has only 26 letters, but far more than 26 sounds. So the first sound is what we call the unvoiced sound of th, like in the word thin. Now do the same sound, or rather do the th sound, the voice sound. So first do th. Put your hand on your throat when you're in the middle of your throat where your voice box is, and do th. You won't feel anything happening there. Now do th. You'll feel a vibrating, buzzing feeling. That's voiced, because your voice box is vibrating even though your mouth is in the same position. So the unvoiced sound is th, and the voiced is th. The unvoiced sound is used more often, but the voice sound is used in very many words. The voice sound is not used as much, but it is used in some of the most common words. First, let's practice the unvoiced sound. So you can either pause the video before each sound, before each line, or before each screen, and you sound it out on your own, then play the video back to see how you did. Now let's practice the voice sound. Now let's practice both sounds. Do the unvoiced first because it is more common. Let's practice some words with the unvoiced f sound. In, thin. It's okay to run your finger below the letters as you read it. Also, when you're still getting used to having a digraph of two letters making one sound, you may need to do something like circle the two letters together or underline them, something to remind yourself until it's easy to do without thinking. Here we have a name, so let's use a capital letter. Beth. Bath. Bath. Ath. Hath. Math. Math. Path. Path. Thug. Thug. Ick. Thick. Ilth. Filth. Off. Broth. Cloth. Cloth. Depth. Depth. If. Fifth. Froth. Froth. Ix. Remember, X usually has the X sound. Sixth. Sixth. Here we have a name, so it has a capital letter. If. Smith. Ank. Thank. Now let's do some words with the voiced th sound. Th. This word ends in a vowel, so we will try the vowel's long sound. The. Now, usually when we're reading, our mouths get kind of lazy, and instead of saying the, we say the. At, that. Is, this. En, then. Them. An, than. With, us, thus. Now, unfortunately, there is not a rule about when to use the unvoiced th sound and when to use the voiced th sound when reading a new word. But since the unvoiced th sound is a little more common, try that one first. And if it does not make a word you recognize, then try it with the voiced th sound. Because there is no rule, we are going to do the first line of these nonsense syllables using the unvoiced th sound, and then we will do it again using the voiced th sound. Remember, at the end of these syllables, we will use the vowel's long sound. And since the U has two long sounds of U and oo, we will use the U sound if we can say it easily. If that's too hard to say, we will use the oo sound. Thay, thee, thigh, tho, thew, that's hard to say, thu. Now let's do it with the voice sound. They, thee, thy, though, thew, that's hard to say, thou. Bray, bree, bry, bro, brew, that's hard to say, brew. Let's practice with some sentences. The, dog, dog. Here's a silent E. Ate. If you don't remember the silent E, please go back and redo lessons 5, 6, and 7. A rat, rat. The dog ate a rat. The red, bus, bus. Notice the silent E. Broke, broke. The red bus broke. She, gave, me, a bug. She gave me a bug. The bug, it bit a dog. How are you doing? If it seems a little slow, but you're getting the sentences right, then that's fine. If you're making a lot of mistakes, whether you're reading them quickly or slowly, if there are a lot of mistakes, you may need to go back to a previous lesson. The, cat. Here's a silent E. Ate, a. Let's remember SH says sh. Fish. The cat ate a fish. I wish I had a cat. I wish I had a cat. If you need more practice with the two sounds of TH, you can either redo this lesson or you can go to Don Potter's website and download the free book Word Mastery and work through the words on page 47. In lessons 9 and 10, we're going to learn about 3 different ways that is spelled and learn about long Y at the end of a short word. And also, at the very end, there's a special bonus lesson 11. So first, let's review our sounds from days 7 and 8. Remember, CH has 3 sounds. The most common one is ch. The second most common is k, like in school. And the third is sh, like in the word chef. So when we see CH, we want to do all 3 sounds and in the order of how common they are. So ch, k, sh. TH has 2 sounds, the unvoiced sound of th, like in thin, and the voiced sound of th, like in this. So when I point to TH, make sure to do both sounds, th and th, in that order. For all of these sounds, pause the video before I do them, or before each line, or before each screen. Sh, ch, k, sh, sh, th, ch, k, sh, th, sh, ch, k, sh, th. If you're having trouble remembering the 3 sounds of CH or the 2 sounds of TH, please go back to lesson 7 for CH and lesson 8 for TH. So has 3 different spellings, and the most common one is ER. So if you're reading a word and you have an ER, UR, or IR at the end of a word or before a consonant, it's going to have the sound of er. 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 For spelling purposes, ER is much more common than UR or IR. So if you're trying to figure out how to spell a word with the sound, try this one first. Let's try these sounds in some words. These sounds will say at the end of a word, like these 3 words here, or before another consonant. her. It's okay to run your finger below the word as you read. Erd, heard. Irk, perk. Fur, fur. Earn, earn. Blur. Remember, although S has two sounds, S and Z, at the beginning of the word, we always use the S sound. Sir. Bird, bird. Stir. Let's try some more words. Dirt, dirt. Girl, girl. Earth, birth. Now, if you said birth with the voice th sound, then that is a valid way to read it. However, the sound we use is the first sound here of th. Now, unfortunately, there isn't a rule to help you figure out when to try th versus th. So, since th is used a little more often, try that sound first. And if you don't recognize the word, then try it again with the th sound. Firm. Remember that QU together has one sound of qu. Quirk. Shirt. Twirl. Earn, fern. Nerd. Herb, verb. Now, if you have trouble noticing the ER, UR, or IR in a word, you may need to circle it or underline it until you're used to thinking of the two letters as one sound. Term, clerk. Earn, burn. Earn, turn. Hurt, slur. Turf. Surf. Let's try some sentences. Remember that the sentences that end in a vowel, we will try the vowel's long sound. The E, the, bird, at, sat, on, a, girl. The bird sat on a girl. If you read this word as the, that's fine, because most of the time when we are reading the words the and a, our mouths get a little lazy because we're in a hurry and we wind up pronouncing it like the and a. The, dog, add, had, ed, read, fur. The dog had red fur. A girl, with, notice we use the second sound of th here, with a big, curl, add, had, a bird, on, her, shirt, a girl with a big curl had shirt. How are you doing? Please don't move on to the next lesson until you can get most of these words correct. Let's practice our nonsense syllables. If you stick around for bonus lesson 11, you'll be able to find out more about why we practice these nonsense syllables. Remember, for these syllables, we are going to use the vowel's long sound. And for the long U, you use the U sound if it's not too hard to say. And if it's hard to say, after the letter in front of it, then you switch to the oo sound. Way, we, why, woe, woo. Nay, knee, nigh, no, new. Bray, bree, bry, bro, brew. For lesson 10, we are going to learn about the sound that Y makes at the end of a short word. Now, the first sound of Y that we learned in level 1 was the consonant sound of Y. But Y, most of the time, actually acts as a vowel. So this is the first vowel sound of Y we're going to learn. And it is the long I sound of I. So when I point to the Y, do the consonant sound, then the long I sound. Y, I. Y, I. Y, I. Y, I. So when you have a short word with a Y at the end, try the long sound of Y, which is the same as a long I. I, my. I, try. I, buy. I, fly. Let's practice with some more words. I, fry. I, sly. Sly means sneaky. I, dry. I, pry. I, ply. I, sky. I, spy. I, my. Here we're going to use the second sound of TH, the voiced th sound. Thy, cry, cry. Sly. Now, most of the time at the end of a word, Y actually has a different sound that we will cover in a future lesson. But we're learning this sound first because it is used in short words and common words like my. Let's try this long Y sound in some sentences. I, my, at, cat. Oh, remember our silent E is going to make the A have its long A sound. Ate, a, fly, fly. My cat ate a fly. If you forgot about the silent E rule, please go back to, I think it's level 2, lesson 5 to review that. Here we will use the second sound of TH, the voiced th sound. The fly sat on the fry. The fly sat on the fry. Remember, QU together has the sound of qu. Quick. Quick. The exclamation point shows emphasis or excitement, some sort of strong emotion. Quick. Stop. The bug. Another exclamation point because this is a command. The red ug, bug, an, can, fly. Be sure to stick around if you're doing well with these lessons to bonus lesson 11. However, if you have a younger student or one who's still struggling, then I would not do the bonus lesson at this point. So you can get extra practice with the long Y sound. Go download Word Mastery from Don Potter's website. I think this is covered on pages 34 through 40, but I might have put the wrong pages there. Okay, so if you are doing well and want to understand why we've been practicing these nonsense letters, you can learn about the accented Y at the end of a longer word. If, however, you are still struggling, go ahead and just skip this lesson. Okay, we have here some two-syllable words. 2 syllables means if you tapped it out, you would have 2 taps. Defy, doggy, radar, TV. So 1 tap per vowel sound that you hear. The words we covered earlier were only 1-syllable words like sly, cry, my. So if you have an accented syllable, which just means a syllable where you're definitely saying the long vowel sound as written, which is covered more in a different video of a different program. But if you have that, you can divide the words into syllables, which I have done. It's okay if you don't know how to divide them into syllables. You can see my syllable division boot camp to learn how to do that. But let's say you have a word that has already been divided into syllables for you, which I took these 4 words, I divided them into syllables. These syllables ending in the Y are going to use the long I sound that we just learned about, of I. The first syllable of each of these words ends in a vowel and is going to use the vowel's long sound, just like we practiced in the nonsense words. So when we practiced with the letter D, we said day, dee, die, do, do. So this is the D syllable. Defy, defy. Rely, rely. If you find this confusing, that's fine. This lesson is completely optional. You don't have to do it at this point. You can just skip it and move on to level 3 if you were ready for level 3. Reply, reply. Deny, deny. Ally, ally. Decry, decry. Apply, apply. Imply, imply.